Hello, everyone. As many of you know, our fiscal year begins September 1st and concludes at the end of August. And so each fall, we want to give you a report to let you know how our finances have functioned in that past year. So consequently, what I'm here to do is to present to you a little bit about how money comes in and how money goes out to the church, as well as let you know that the good news is in 2019 and 2020, in spite of the fact that our church was closed for 3 solid months, we actually made our annual budget. And that is really due to 2 fundamental aspects. One, a good number of our parishioners were already signed up for electronic giving. That means that throughout the year, they are continually supporting the church financially. We already had something like 40% of our registered families connected to electronic giving. Secondly, many of you sent in your envelopes, you sent in cards, you sent in checks. You were constantly giving us financial and spiritual support during this time. So for that reason, we were able to make our budget, and I want you to know how very grateful I am. Not only did we make our annual budget, but in the midst of this capital campaign, we continued to receive pledge money. So as you can see, if you've been coming to church here, or if you're just going to drive by, you can see that our parking lot is almost completed. We just have a few finishing touches and then it's going to be done, and I think it's been a great success. It is our belief that we have come in close to $100,000 under budget, which is great news, and we're very, very happy about that, as well as the success and the beauty and the safety of our new parking lot. Our next phase of Raising the Star is to establish our entrance atrium and our steeple tower that's going to go out front of the church. Now, the reason why that's going to be the next phase of the Raising the Star campaign is because we have received significant donations for both of those aspects of the project. So we're submitting our plans, we're waiting to hear back from the city, then things have to be finalized, and it's our hope to break ground on that part of the project this coming summer. In the meantime, let me give you a sense of how money comes in and out of the church. Now, if you came to Mass this weekend, we actually gave you a copy of these pie charts, but you can see them on the video, and we'll actually have them listed on our website as well. First of all, when we talk about income, how money comes into the church, the major part of the pie, actually 64%, comes from our collections. So electronic giving, our Sunday plate collections, for those of you who send in your donations, that's the lion's share of the money that comes into our church. But there are other ways in which we actually receive funding, special donations. So everything that actually comes into us through electronic giving and through our Sunday plate, that money is assessed by the Diocese of Monterey. Some people would choose not to have their gift be assessed, and so they make a special donation. Or sometimes a special donation might be somebody sold a home, or they received an inheritance, or they just want to make a gift to the church. It's a special donation that they give, and that actually is about 15% of our income that we receive. About 10% comes from stipends. So if you get married in the church, or you have a baptism in the church, or you have a funeral in the church, oftentimes you'll give a stipend to the church, and that basically constitutes about 10% of our income. Parish community events, for example, like the Jubilee. The Jubilee is not exactly a fundraiser, and we were able to conduct a Jubilee in 2019, but because of the auction and the barbecue, we do actually make some money. And so events like that actually bring about 3.5%. Then there's fundraising. We do usually 2 fundraisers a year, specifically oriented towards supporting our ministries, and that's about 3.5%. On the back of our bulletin, actually local merchants and business people advertise. That's about 1% of our income. Our accounts are basically, our financial accounts are held through Wells Fargo. We receive interest on those accounts. That interest is about 1% of our income. Back before the pandemic, we would have hospitality after the 8 o'clock and the 11 o'clock Mass on Sunday morning. And so there was an offering. That offering constitutes about 1% as well. religious education fees. So when you enroll your children in Catechesis of the Good Shepherd or confirmation, there are various fees associated with that, and that constitutes about, well, actually less than 1%. And then one of the things that you may have noticed is that normally we conduct an annual ministries appeal. This is the bishop's request that all the parishes in the diocese support the diocesan ministries. Each parish is given a goal, and everything over the goal we get to keep. But because we've been in the midst of a capital campaign, we didn't really want to ask you to give to the parish every Sunday, support the capital campaign, and the annual ministries appeal. So we folded that goal amount into the capital campaign, Raising the Star. So consequently, not only did we not ask you for funds this year for annual ministries appeal, but we did not receive any funds from that. Everything got folded into Raising the Star. Now let's talk about our expenses. Now, if you look at that pie chart, you'll see that the lion's share of our expenses has to come with staffing. So everyone that is paid staff, our religious education staff, our office staff, myself as the priest, we all are a part of the parish staff and we receive salaries. And so consequently, that is 53% of our expenses goes into staff salaries. 18% is building and utilities, so all of the things that help us keep the building going. Water, electrical, the repair work that has to be done on buildings like this on an ongoing basis, that's 18%. As I mentioned earlier, the diocese assesses us for all of our income, and that's 9% of our income. 9% goes back to the Diocese of Monterey. There are office expenses that constitute about 9%. So the photocopier, the telephone, all of the different machinery that we use, the computers that keep the office running, that basically is about 9%. Liturgy and ministry costs. So when you come to Mass and you see flowers at the church, when you notice that we have wine, we have communion hosts, we're able to provide all of the different things that we need in order to celebrate the Mass, that basically is about 4% of our income. Parish community events that we provide are about 2% of our income. Now that would be the expenses associated with the Jubilee or First Friday or any kind of retreats or presentations that we have here. There are expenses attached to making that all happen, and that's about 2% that goes out. When we do a fundraiser, that fundraiser actually requires a certain amount of effort and money that has to be put into it. That's about 1% of our income. So anything to do with religious education, RCIA, Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, the Edge, confirmation. There are various different education costs that are connected to that. Materials that needed to be acquired and so forth. That's about 1%. When we have been able to offer hospitality, that constitutes 1% of our costs as well. And then other administration fees, just sort of lumped into a lot of different things. Like for instance, when you use your credit card to purchase raffle tickets or if you use your credit card to make a donation of some kind, the credit card company charges us a fee for that. And ultimately, these administration fees are about 2%. So when you look at the pie charts, you can see basically how money comes into us and how money goes out. We feel that we are particularly fortunate here at Nativity of Our Lady because not only do you support us financially, but you support us with your goodwill. Throughout this time, this pandemic time when the church was closed, time when we were sort of coming back in a very gradual way, there has been a constant response from our parishioners thanking us for our presence and for the efforts that we're making. And that support has meant the world to us. Your kindness, your generosity, your stewardship, and your support make this a wonderful parish to serve. So please know how grateful I am. I'm grateful for the past and I'm grateful for the present, for all of your support. And your encouragement and your support is enabling us to continue the good work that we hope to do every single day as we here at Nativity of Our Lady continue to seek the God who lives amongst us.